going on, everybody? We're going to be in the Goon Squad garage today filming a how I do it video. Not a how to do it video, because that would be saying that I kind of know what the hell I might be doing, and I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea about me. Okay, this is a how I do it video. All right, and what we're going to be doing today is changing the oil in the beautiful 2001 Yamaha Warrior that I have. I like to have things kind of ready, so I already have it up in the air. I got my creeper ready. The oil drain pan's underneath it. I have the tools I'm going to need for it ready, which includes a couple of bottles of Labatt's. One I already drank half of while I was getting my shit together. The Pantera Cowboys from Hell to keep me motivated. A 3/4 inch socket on a 1/2 inch drive. And a T30 star bit for the oil filter. Yes, you want to change your oil filter when you're changing your oil. At least we do here in the Goon Squad garage. Here we are underneath it. One of the things I always like to do when I'm underneath it or working on anything at all is check things out, since I kind of ride it a little hard. And right there, I crushed the skid plate up into the case. I'm probably pretty lucky that I didn't bust that case. But that's a new skid plate that I'm going to need for sure. I always check all the welds, everything like that. Make sure it's all good. Nothing's broken under here that's going to get me hurt while I'm riding. And right there's your oil drain plug. So I'm going to hook my socket up to that. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to let the oil come out. While I'm doing that, I'm going to crank some music and drink a little bit of that Labatt's that's over there. All right, I got that out. There is a metal spring, goes in there, has a screen on it with a filter. You want to make sure you clean that out real good too. I did have some metal shavings in there, nothing serious though. I know my clutch is getting a little bit ripped up just by the way it rides. And you want to clean out in here. Make sure that O-ring's good and clean. Everything there is nice and clean, and you're going to be able to get a good seal on it when you put it back in. Okay, I had a beer. That's one's dead. I got to work on this one. I'm going to put this stuff back together, listen to some Pantera, and then I'll get back with you for the next step. All right. I had to add another Labatt's to the party because they're flowing pretty good. Like I want my oil to flow anyway. And I got my oil ready. What I use is Bel-Ray EXL 1040. All right, I know a lot of people use all kinds of different stuff. I've even been seeing a lot about the Rotella going into these things. The reason I use the Bel-Ray is, if you watch my videos, you see the amount of mud and water I'm in. I'm changing my oil pretty regular, and this is $8.99 a liter compared to like Lucas I seen for as high as $15, $16 a liter. I feel if you change your oil enough and when you're supposed to, you'll be good with something else other than the synthetics and the high price stuff. And Chad Reed, being one of my favorite motocross riders, uses Bel-Ray, and if it's good enough for Chad Reed's motocross bike, it's good enough for my ATV. So Bel-Ray, chalk one up to Chad Reed. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get onto this filter. It's just a high flow filter, racing. The number's HF142. You open it up, you got your filter, and you got a nice little high flow Filtro Racing sticker in there with it. Stickers are always cool, although I don't put them on everything anymore. I used to have stickers all over the place. I don't do that much anymore. I like keeping the quad pretty clean. Couple sponsor stickers here and there that I need to put on my truck or my helmet, and that's about it. Your filter is going to be on the left side of your quad, right above your shift lever. And right there I have a beautiful Outlaw Racing direct shift modification onto it. There's only going to be 3 bolts holding it on. That's those T30 stars. You got one here, one down here. I'm going to go ahead and yank them off. Maybe have another sip or two of my beer. One other thing I do want to mention, before you go tearing that off, make sure you have this area up here all nice and clean. You don't want to get any dirt, grime, mud, any kind of nonsense that's hanging around on there anywhere near the inside of your compartment there. So clean that all up nice. Also, it is going to leak some oil out of there when you're taking that off, so make sure you have your drain pan moved to where you can catch it. Otherwise, you're going to make a big mess. We don't want to make any messes here in the Goon Squad garage. It's all in the details, just those little details. All right, the oil filter's out. You want to make sure everything around there is clean. Again, I'm talking surgical doctor clean. You don't want to put any more dirt in the engine while you're trying to put the clean oil in. So that's looking good. Here's the old filter. There are some metal shavings on it. Nothing extreme as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to call it normal wear and tear. I have this quad for almost 4 years, and it's still the original clutch and everything in it. And once again, if you watch my videos, I do not ride it gently. There's your cover. Again, clean it up, check it out, make sure the O-ring around there is all good, no cracks, it's not dry rotted or anything. I have my new filter here ready to go. You're going to want to make sure you put it in the right way. There's an open end that goes towards your motor, and there's a closed end that goes toward the case. Make sure your open end is toward the motor. Now, something I like to do, again, details, to help out, make sure the seals are good, is I will dip a clean finger into the new oil. Clean finger in the new oil. And I will go around all the gaskets and O-rings to make sure that they're good and lubed up and stay nice and pliable so that they create a good seal. Now I'm going to put all of this stuff back together. Work on some more of these babies over here. Crank the Pantera back up. I've been turning the Pantera down a little bit because of this copyright bullshit nonsense that YouTube's doing. And I don't want to get any more flags and kicked off because I'm playing something that I'm not supposed to be in the background. I don't want to offend anybody. So I got to get some beer and some tunes in me while I'm putting this back together. All right, the new filter's back in and the cover's back on. One thing you're going to notice while you're putting that cover back on is the bolt holes only line up one way. So before you get crazy and start cranking them in there, you might want to make sure you have it lined up right and all three of them are ready to go. Otherwise, you're going to put one in and find out the other ones don't line up. Another one of those little detail things, just be aware of that. Now I'm ready to put the oil back in. Your dipstick is on the right side of the engine case. You're going to have to use a funnel. You don't want to dump oil all over the place. It's better just to use a funnel and get it in that way. Again, clean. Make sure it's a clean funnel. What I do, these quads take, with the filter change, just a little over 2.5 liters to fill it up. So what I'm going to do is put almost 2.5 liters in, then I'll get it back down, get it leveled out, and I'll top it off from there. All right, after I put the first liter in and have another sip of my Labatt's, I like to climb back underneath here, check that drain plug out, make sure I don't have any issues with any leak in there. Run your finger around there, make sure there's no wet. Now, that is provided you cleaned it all up from when you drained the oil out the first time. I'm good there, nothing. No moisture, no leaks. Now I'll continue putting the rest of the oil in. All right, I have it all back together. I have it down off the ramps. I have the oil in it. It looks good. There's no drips underneath it. Nothing seems to be leaking anywhere. What I'm going to do now is fire it up, let it run for a little bit, shut her down. Then I'll check the oil again and top it off as I need to. And that is the end of the Goon style oil change. It's pretty simple once you know where everything's at. A couple little tricks here and there, like keeping everything clean, just detail stuff. The oil filter cover, make sure you have that lined up before you go screwing all your bolts in. That first couple, you get them in and then the third one's not lined up. It could be a headache. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you the next time. I have an extremely stretched chain and some really screwed up sprockets that I got to take care of too. Check it out. See you later.